The sky looks blue, and fast food restaurants never mess up your order. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jcast Experience. I am Jay Wade, and once again over here, my partner in crime, we got Drew. What's happening, man? Yeah, it's me.
But no, not much. Same old, same old. Selling cars and raising kids.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Living the American dream.
Oh, yeah. You know it.
Hot dogs and apple pies, man.
Yeah, how you been this week?
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Good.
Reading a lot. Excuse me. I just hit puberty for everyone to hear. Just reading crap online, dude. And I don't mean crap online, but, reading news and, I don't read fake news, which means I don't go to BuzzFeed or CNN, and I'm not down with alternative facts, so I don't listen to anything that comes out of the Trump administration. Which pretty much leaves, I read crap on the internet, I guess, basically.
I just love the term alternative facts.
Oh, I know. That kills me. And you know that will never go away. That is set in stone for the rest of time, dude.
That's something, even though it's nothing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, it just depends on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Is that alternative facts? Because that's crap.
Yeah. The sky looks blue.
Well, that's just because that's how much of that color shines through as the majority, and that's what we tend to see. And, but...
Okay, but I said the sky looks blue. It does look blue.
It does look blue.
That's an alternative fact. It's not really blue. Well, no, now I wish I could restart the show because the thought I had in my head I didn't convey right, and I got twisted. Now I look like a freaking moron.
No, I got you. Everybody is with me. Team Drew.
Well, that was as soon as I brought up the sky looks blue, as soon as I said it occurred to me that I had screwed myself because the sky isn't really blue. It just looks blue, which is what I said, which is a fact. But that was a really poor example, So
That's all right. Everybody got it.
Yeah. Everybody got it that I'm a moron this week.
That's what makes this show good.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Good as gold, baby.
We are just who we are. We are not without flaw.
No.
And there you go. Sometimes it's called a brain fart.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. But, I don't know. A few weeks ago, we had the same issue as this week. Not really an issue, but... what are we going to talk about? And we always, did anything happen? And, of course, the typical political BS is going on, but...
Constantly.
Who cares?
Yep.
There will be a time where we'll delve into some of that stuff, but, I mean, it's all, so fresh and so damn annoying, to be honest, right now, that I just don't want to focus on any of it. But, there is something else going on this week, which is history talk.
Yeah, we're going to do another history talk this week. Fly on the wall of history.
Yep. And this time it's Drew's turn to pick.
Oh, it's my turn to pick.
What he would like to go back and witness. And for those of you who've not heard, the last episode we did of this, basically I've always had this idea where, well, not always, but I've had this idea for a while. It would be cool to go back in time. No time machine needed, you just basically not wish it, but think it. I'm not getting into all the stupid, I need a DeLorean or a phone booth or anything.
Flux time capacitor?
Yeah. You can travel through time to anywhere you want, and you can be a complete and utter observer only. No one can touch you, no one can hear you, no one can see you. Nothing there can affect you or harm you. Yet, you can feel and smell everything. You can touch everything. You have your full senses working while you're in this time and you're observing these things. So you can soak it all in the way it really was.
Yeah.
And Last one we did was the first time that man discovered that they themselves could make fire.
That's a good episode.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
I like that. That's why we decided to stick with it from time to time.
Yep,
That was a good one.
So here we are again, and Drew, take it away, man. I did the last one. What do you got this week?
I really feel like, as you know, I love going fast, and for me, I love engineering as well. The achievements that humans have done throughout history is always a type of engineering, so it kind of making fire is a type of engineering as well. I mean, it's more physics, I guess, but along the same line, you're creating something, you know. But for me, it's man's first flight. You know, I just think it'd be unbelievable for something. Think of the thousands of years of people watching birds fly, okay, and just dreaming of that and how it would feel and what it would be like, and it just, I think it'd be unreal to be strapped onto the wing of the Wright Flyer, you know, and you're right there with them as they're pedaling along, going as fast as they can.
Literally pedaling. That's what's great about it all. Wow.
I mean, just a couple bicycle makers from Dayton, Ohio. Woot woot.
And, well, shot out right down the road.
But no, to do something that billions of people alive and dead by that point in time have dreamed of, just completely dreamed of. Everybody wanted to do it. Leonardo da Vinci wanted to do that. You know, the greatest minds in the world ever. I mean, it's unbelievable. These two guys from Ohio and Indiana, they come up with this, and it's all about, you know, never giving up, really. I mean, and then the excitement, my goodness, when you take off and you feel the force of it. Oh my, I bet that was just unbelievable. And I'm sure they're coasting along at, you know, 30 miles an hour, maybe.
Well, and it's funny because you brought the pedaling along, literally, and the coasting. Bicycles. Which is where they got their start. Here, exactly. Well, not here in Dayton, but, you know, in Dayton down the road. The bicycle shop, and you know, I mean, that's where all of their ideas and thoughts for making flight happen started, you know, with the frickin' bicycle shop, dude.
Unbelievable.
It's cool.
Yeah. And maybe it's because we're from this area or something, but I still think it'd be the same. I mean, look at where we're at now with flight. It's people take it for granted. It's so common, you know?
Yeah.
To where, imagine if you're on the beach, okay, and you're watching them in North Carolina. You're watching them, and you're like, look at these idiots. You know? like, this is like the 200th time I've seen people try to do this.
Yeah.
And they always crash, and the thing just falls apart. And
I'm surprised they haven't killed themselves yet.
It's like, all right, let's watch these guys go. And then they're just sitting there with their mouths wide open. You know, like, oh, like, did you just see that? Yep. I can't believe it. You know, and that would be, I mean, there's many walls to be on for that moment. And I just think that'd be so exhilarating and just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. We take it totally for granted, and we can fly, you know, across halfway across the world in 13 hours, and depends on the plane you're in, even shorter, well shorter than that. And it's unbelievable. We could take it to the moon and beyond. Yeah. You know, like, that's all started from these two guys,
dude. Yeah,
peddling their butts off
because
in Raleigh,
of them,
North Carolina.
We've got a freaking rover on Mars with freaking people driving around with remote control that got there because of the Wright brothers.
Yeah, and it's awesome. You know, it's rarely talked about in that sense. You know, they talk about flight and everything else, but they don't talk about how much more achievement has been made because of that one achievement. You know, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. We would be nowhere. We wouldn't be watching satellite TV or talking on our cell phones.
Yeah.
We would, you know, there's all kinds of things that go along with that. And that one moment where they lifted off the ground where you could almost jump up and touch the bottom of the plane, you know, but they did it for however many feet, 100 feet or whatever the heck it was, you know.
I mean, even 3 seconds of flight
was
amazing, you know.
That's an unbelievable feat.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. And all they knew after that was, we need more force.
Yeah.
we need more force. That's it. We've got the lift. We need force. You know, and there you go with, you know, motorcycle engines and all kinds of different things. I mean, they had kits where you could buy from Sears and build your own plane in the 20s and 30s. I mean, it was...
Right.
It's pretty crazy. It was so easy to buy your own plane, and people would just go take them out, and it showed, you know, like, you with your family in the article, and you're flying to your in-laws' house for dinner or whatever. And it's like,
insane.
Yeah, like, there's people dying all the time, I'm sure, from their Sears hand-built plane, and...
I'm sure they did not send an instruction video on how to actually fly the damn thing.
Yeah, it's probably... Well, I'd have to assume that their instructions were a little less complicated than ours today, as far as the written ones.
Yeah.
It seems to me like whoever writes the instructions now has never built the thing you're building ever in their life. But, you know, that's just engineers for you now.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. The whole... Even say, go back to when they were doing the process of designing the plane, like, I bet that was exhilarating and frustrating and everything else. To be able to watch that would be something else, and then the payoff at the end would be overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, like, imagine how much money and time they sunk into this, and I bet they were crying and smiling and laughing and... Like, all at the same time.
That would be a hell of a celebration to be able to witness, dude.
I mean, unbelievable. Those guys, I hope I'm not sure what their net worth was when they died, but they should have had all the riches in the world.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like,
and then there's the dispute over where the birth of flight actually happened. And, you know.
Well, my thing is I have to assume, because it was on video and stuff, okay, somebody was there recording it, which means they knew that this was going to happen. So they did something here in Ohio before they went down there. You're not just going to drive all the way down there, you know. And at that time, I'm not even sure how they made it down there. Horse and buggy, you know, was it a truck, you know, a rustic truck that took forever to get down there anyway. But, I mean, that'd have been late 1800s, right? Flight was 1900.
I'm not sure, man.
I mean, cars weren't super common at that point in time. I mean, they weren't industrialized till 1903. But yeah, it was right around the exact same time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'd have to assume it took forever to get there. You're not just going to do that on a whim.
Right.
You know,
I'm sure even if you did drive, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, I almost just dropped the F-bomb, but for F's sake, dude, if you drive in one of those cars, it ain't going no 70, 80 mile an hour, dude.
7,
yeah.
maybe.
It's going to take you forever to get down there.
No suspension, everything else, it'd be beating you to death all the way there. The roads weren't paved.
So bad, dude.
Oh, yeah, it was ridiculous. You were still riding on horse trails. I mean, that's how it was then. It was probably a heck of a journey to get there to even do that.
If you drove.
So I guess I don't want to get into the debate of birthplace, I guess, too much, but it was conceived here. Did they leave the ground here? That's my question. If they left the ground, then it was here.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. I've never looked into the details.
I mean, if I was conceived in Ohio, but yet my parents are on vacation, I was born in North Carolina, that is my birthplace. Right. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So, all right. So, but what if you're in Ohio when you start to crown, but you aren't actually out of the womb until you get to North Carolina?
Oh.
Then how does that work? Because that's kind of how you were saying if they got off the ground in Ohio, then that would be the birthplace.
Yeah, they don't call the birth time until you are out of the canal. So, I have to assume that North Carolina, again, on the birthplace on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it twice.
Well, sir, you're a traitor. I have been raised my entire life in this area, 45-minute drive away from Dayton. Shorter if I'm driving fast, which I normally do. And you, sir, are a traitor because my entire life we have been raised that this is the home of the Wright brothers. I'm so angry right now that I can't even control myself.
I'm not trading yet. I'm still in the air on my decision on where the birthplace of flight is. Because if they left the ground here, then it was here. I don't care how long they were off the ground.
All right.
I mean,
all right,
if I flew a kite for half of a second, it flew for half of a second.
You're cool again.
Okay? And my thing is this.
Benedict Arnold.
I would have to think that they did fly in Ohio and decided we need more wind.
Maybe.
They got off the ground for a hair of a second and then was like, you know what, we need somewhere where there's a crap ton of wind.
Well, there's that hill over there by Wright Pat.
Yeah.
Where they did some of their testing and stuff up on top of that hill, and they've got some sort of monument up there for them or something by Wright Pat Air Force Base.
Yeah, so, I mean...
I can't remember the name of the hill.
I'm fairly certain...
So they did do tests here, and...
Yeah. I'm fairly certain that they flew here off of a hill, but didn't maybe take off. I'm not sure how that worked, you know.
Because then it would be gliding.
Yeah.
If that were the case.
Did they still pedal and make it a distance on their own? You know.
Well, but if you're going down a hill, then it's still gliding because for it to be flying, the ground would have to be level. You would have to literally lift off of the ground and be in the air off the ground. But I mean, if you're still dropping. If you're, you know what I mean? If you're going down a hill.
Well, that's my question.
And that's the only reason you're in the air is because you started on a hill.
Well, there's planes, though. There's planes that get carried by other planes. And when they take off, you know, they drop and then their jets go. They just don't have any landing gear and stuff.
Right.
And then they actually climb and decline on their own. And that's technically flying.
That's true.
So
that's true.
My question is did they actually gain?
Yeah, and that's what matters.
I guess that's the question. Did they gain anything from pedaling?
I'll do some research, and before we get started on next week's show, I will have an answer for us.
Nice.
Of course, it'll still always be under debate, just because it's one of those. North Carolinas they're proud of that, and they want to own it, and we're proud of it, and we want to own it. So
yep,
whatever.
That's all right. We've got more presidents from Ohio and more astronauts from Ohio, and Ohio's awesome. Yeah,
not too shabby. I don't have a lot of kind things to say about the governor, but that's okay. That's for another time. But yeah, as far as the flight thing, I mean, you're absolutely right. And as far as you were saying about the process and the engineering and, you know, like you were saying, be able to watch them all together and they're making the designs and one of them's the sketcher, you know, and the others are telling them, no, make the wing curved a little bit more or do this or make these bars in or move this in a little bit. And then the exciting part of actually going and building what they've drawn and hoping that it works. Then you try it. And it doesn't work because it took them a long time of failure. Yeah, so when it doesn't work, they got to go back to the drawings, look at what happened, and try to figure out what part of the plane they need to change for it to work. Because they didn't have any of the technology we have today that would help people determine that. They've got to use their brain to just think about, okay, we wanted to do this, but it did this instead. What could making it do that, and how could we change things? So, I mean, it was just 100% trial and error, dude.
Yep.
And the frustration that would come along with it, dude. The anger.
Unbelievable. It'd be denial and error, and then water under the fridge when you guys started fighting. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if the Wright brothers ever came to blows.
Oh, I'm sure they did. They're brothers.
Yeah, people think about, they're the Wright brothers. They're brothers, and they, invented flight, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, like we were, the frustration that would come with it and the anger of all the failure and the ideas and the conflicts. I mean...
Like, you're an idiot. That was a stupid idea.
Take away the hero aspect of them and think about them as brothers and human beings and try to think about some of the crazy fights they might have had, dude.
Oh, they were crazy. You know it.
Oh, beating the hell out of each other on the beach, dude.
Yeah.
I told you that we shouldn't have done that.
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean, I have two brothers. You have brothers. It's only inevitable that it will happen.
Yeah.
You
get to that point where you're like, dude, I love you, but I really wish Mom would have found some asshole in a back alley with a clothes hanger.
The best part of you ran down your mama's butt crack.
But, yeah, I mean, just, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, dude.
I'm just sitting here thinking of, like, throwing stuff at each other, breaking things, and the other one getting pissed off because you got pissed off and broke something, or...
Yeah. Well, like you said, we both got brothers, and we both worked with our brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing shit, dude, that is absolutely gonna happen when you're working with family, dude. Because, when you're working with family, you tend to forget that you're at work. And that you should act in a professional way. Yeah. These are my coworkers. I can't get away at work. Well, you can if you're brother siblings, but you shouldn't be able to. You should be thinking, I shouldn't be able to get away with calling my brother an asshole and telling him screw you and throwing a shovel his way, because that would not fly if you were just some other run of the mill employee coworker, dude.
No, not
at
all.
That coworker wouldn't let it fly, and neither would the boss. But
nope. Then the boss is like, "Yeah, well, they're brothers. They'll work it out because it's your dad."
Yep. Yep.
Just let them go. They'll figure it out.
All right. So, what do you think the odds are that at one point in time over all those years of attempted flights, that one of them got so pissed off at the other one that they sabotaged something on the plane, knowing that brother would be trying to fly it that they're mad at, and sabotage something, hoping they'd break their neck or something.
I'm gonna kill this.
You think that could have happened?
No, I don't think they could do that to themselves.
Yeah, they had their eye on the prize for sure. They wouldn't have been able to do it.
They're already established businessmen. I feel like this.
True.
This was more or less them tinkering and having fun.
Yeah.
This might have been frustrating at times, but 99% joy.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it even better and more exhilarating at the end for the success.
And how far into it until they realized that this was a serious endeavor and should no longer be taken as just like something they're tinkering on for fun.
The realization moment.
Yeah.
That,
when they realized, dude, we could actually do this.
Yeah, when they looked at each other and was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment changed everything for everyone. That was the real moment. And they had it right here, Dayton, Ohio, 45 minutes down the road.
Yep.
But but I'm just thinking that you're right. That's when it really got serious. Like they probably threw a little bit of extra money towards it and probably had just parts and stuff laying around in the shop for making bikes and stuff like that. And they obviously knew how to bend wood and everything else. So that skill came easy. Is more like building a model on scale. And then when they had that moment, it was like, okay, well, we're going to have to hire someone else to help us in the bike shop because we need to focus.
Yep.
You know, one of us needs to do this all day, and the other one needs to have an apprentice out there. Or something happened, I'm sure. Something changed at that moment in time. And I'm sure by that time they already had helpers and everything else. And bicycles were huge
people,
at that point in time. So.
People would want, when they found out that they were working on flight, people would volunteer their time. They wouldn't want pay.
You bet.
You know, especially the younger cats who were, you know, had the hopes and dreams of this too, you know.
There's great minds alive at that time. You know, some of the world's best inventors of all time were alive at that time.
Yep.
So I'm sure that there was, you know, questions and help from certain people. But yeah, that'd be, I bet it was a heck of a time.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't even imagine.
Yep. And gonna go ahead and wrap up that segment, but perfect segue. It didn't even hit me till we were actually talking about everything.
Yeah.
Tonight's show was main topic was perfect segue into this week's Nutty Bar of the Week.
Yeah.
And Nutty Bar of the Week is we pick somebody who deserves it because they are nutty for something they do, say, crazy stuff. It can be tragic things. It can be funny things, stupid things. I mean, there are no holds barred on this award.
Exactly.
And this week goes to a celebrity, one of my favorites.
He's gotten many awards. This is just one of many awards for him.
Yep. And he's one of my favorites. He's one of all of our favorites from two amazing franchises that rock all of our asses.
Oh, I love
inside
them all.
Out. Oh yeah.
He's even a big fan of The Fugitive. How about that?
Yeah, good movie.
Yeah.
We are talking about Han Solo and Indiana Jones, Mr. Harrison Ford. Drew, take it away.
Well, he falls under the category of things he's done and things he's did. And things he, just a lot of stuff. Just a lot of dumb stuff. That's pretty much what's going on right now.
I love you, Harrison Ford.
But, this is Harrison Ford. This is a headline. Harrison Ford's plane narrowly avoids collision with passenger airliner. Okay. A passenger airliner being a Boeing 737. Now, mind you, it's not like a 747 big old jumbo or 57 or anything like that. But it carries 110 passengers with a crew of 6.
Man.
Okay, so 116 people.
Yep.
And he flew right over top of it, then says, oh
yeah, this quote is gold.
And I quote,
this quote is the chocolate that covers the Nutty Bar.
He says to air traffic control, "Was that airliner meant to be underneath me?" End quote.
You know, when I first read that quote, I heard him saying that in Han Solo's voice, and I saw him next to Chewie in the freaking cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, dude. And I just laughed my ass off, dude.
So, this will obviously launch a full investigation from the FAA, because this is not his first occurrence. Okay, 2 years ago, he landed a World War II era training plane on a golf course.
Yep.
Because the engine failed. Which, I mean, I think that's pretty action hero-esque. Engine's out. He's going down. I think we've seen this.
He turned it around trying to get it back home.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you can't fault the guy for making a crash landing, but I mean, it's just...
He broke his arm, got a little head injuries.
Yep.
You know, nothing major. I mean, broken arm's pretty major, I guess. But.
And when it happened, my first concern was the Star Wars movie, but...
Well, yeah,
exactly.
But go ahead. And this thing was beautiful. Oh, it was a beautiful plane.
Oh, man.
And you can tell it's a trainer one. It's got the extra cockpit behind the front one.
Yep.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. Too bad he crashed it. But the thing is, he owns a bunch of different aircrafts and stuff, and he's been flying for a long time. Helicopter, yeah. But my thing is that he's 74, And I mean, sure, he's flown in space, battled the Empire, but he's 74 now. Maybe Chewie should take over the wheel.
And Chewie's older, but still younger.
I'm sure he's got better eyes. I mean, this is how it works. We don't know, but it's just.
Well, what was it that
the thing
he read the instructions back to them? What was it saying about that? They gave him his landing clearance, and he repeated the clearance back to them correctly, but then ended up doing illegal landing on an illegal taxiway or whatever.
Yeah, he landed on a taxiway that runs parallel to the runway. Okay, so it's right next to it. But I mean, you've been flying before. The taxiway is like a 3 or 4 car lengths skinnier than the landing strip most of the time, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And not to mention, landing strips are usually lined with a whole bunch of lights, and it's got nice paint on it, and like where the taxiway doesn't, it has like white lines that are checkered to show you where to turn and stuff like that. And like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I haven't seen the one at John Wayne Airport.
Well, not to mention, though, that he repeated the clearance back to them correctly. So if you jump it to a different level, a different situation, that's like me ordering a cheeseburger plain with cheese only. They repeat my order back, and he says, "You want a cheeseburger plain with cheese only?" Then the dude hands me a cheeseburger with everything on it.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, that does happen.
What happened?
That happens every day. Maybe this does.
Damn it, I'm giving piss poor examples today. The sky looks blue, and fast food restaurants never mess up your order.
Oh, man.
Terrible.
But no, it does say that they told him to land runway 20L at John Wayne. Pilot correctly read back the clearance. The pilot then landed on a taxiway that runs parallel to runway, flying over a Boeing 737 that was holding short of the runway.
Man.
So, I mean, I don't
understand. Harrison for the flying.
Maybe he needs to, like, look out the window. Like, what? Am I about to fly over that big giant jumbo jet?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be there?
Yeah.
Like, probably not.
Man.
And I mean, this isn't like he's flying somewhere where he's never been. That's insane.
Yeah.
He's in California. He's going to John Wayne Airport.
He's probably taken off and landed from that airport many, many times.
Many times. He's been flying for a long time. He crash landed a helicopter during a flying lesson in Ventura County, California in 1999.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then his Beechcraft Bonanza scraped the runway during an emergency landing in Nebraska.
Dude.
Yeah, in 2000.
Wow. I'm sorry, but he needs to have his freaking pilot license revoked, dude. For real. And just be a passenger in these planes from now on.
He can't even fly the Millennium Falcon.
Well, no, he's dead. Spoiler alert.
It says here that the actor had been in accidents out of the cockpit, too, suffering a broken leg 3 years ago on the set of the Millennium Falcon spaceship, after he was pinned down by the heavy metal frame door while reprising his role as Han Solo.
Yep. And that studio paid a heavy fine for that, too.
Oh, yeah, suffering a broken leg.
Huge negligence on the workers' parts.
Yeah.
Stage workers.
But he can't even fly the Millennium Falcon,
yeah.
man. He's getting hurt doing that. He just needs to stop flying.
Just keep acting like you're flying, and that's fine with me.
He's got more than 5,200 hours in his logbook in flying. I think he should know what's going on. And if not, maybe they need to look into why he's getting confused.
No.
I mean, I don't know, but it just seems awful crazy to be flying over top of a freaking 737.
Oh, was that supposed to be there?
Yeah, what is that? I'm Harrison Ford.
Good thing I didn't clip it. I shot first. When in all reality, let me clear this up right now. All right? There's all the shirts out there. Han shot first, okay? Which we all know Greedo did not shoot first, okay?
Yeah.
But I like to take it back to the real reality of it, okay? Han shot first is not the accurate thing to say. Greedo never shot. That's the accurate thing to say, because in the original, Han shot, and that's it. Because Greedo never had a chance to shoot in the original before it was remastered by Lucas. So that whole Han shot first, that's only if you take into the account the remake, because they both shot. But then even if you go back to the original, it still doesn't hold up because Han was the only one who shot. So it should either be Han shot, which sounds stupid. So I always wanted the t-shirt that said Greedo never even shot.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that's the accurate thing to say. Greedo never shot. But whatever.
Maybe you should make one.
I do want to. I do want to. I'm sure there are some out there somewhere. I can't be the only person who's thought about that.
Well, it's not the popular thing, though.
Well, yeah. Han shot first just has that ring to it. But anyway... Harrison Ford, congratulate, I messed it up. We're going to act like that never even happened.
It's been a tough week for you.
It has been a tough week for me, man. All that crap I've been reading online. Freaking ABC, NBC. Who do I trust? Harrison Ford, dude, kudos to you for being the Nutty Bar of the Week.
Kudos.
Oh, yeah, baby. Love you, man. Love you.
I'm glad we could give him the award once, just because he deserves an award from us.
Yep.
At least one time.
Yep. And Harrison, do not let them put aliens in the next Indiana Jones movie, dude. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull sucked, and I never will acknowledge it as ever having been made ever. So, kind of like the prequels, unless they're the anti-cheese edits, which I'll give another plug for those since we're on this. We're going over anyway, so who cares? Go to YouTube if you're a Star Wars fan and you can't stand the prequels, and they might be hard to find. It took me a while to find them, but you can find the anti-cheese edits of the Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace. It has been a long week. What was the second one? Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
And then Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
And some cat, man, he edited them up real good. Took out almost all the crap with Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar no longer speaks English, and he doesn't have that same voice. He speaks some other language in their subtitles. The two very racist Japanese looking creatures who were running the trade embargo or whatever, they no longer have that terrible racist Japanese accent, and they don't speak English. They took out the entire Gungan City scene when they dive in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, they took out all the cheesy BS with Anakin crying like a little bitch about Padme. And this dude made those movies freaking watchable, dude. So, anti-cheese edits. Go out, look for them. And while you're there, like, listen, share, subscribe, help us out, keep coming back, give us comments, suggestions, criticisms, whatever. We don't give a shit.
Just freaking listen.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't top it. That was it. Just freaking listen. And I hear that in Peter Griffin's voice. Just freaking listen. I can't. I'm not even going to try to impersonate it because I can't.
I can't.
I've already made myself sound really dumb like 3-4 times tonight.
Oh, well, then you might as well try it.
All right, hold on. This should be good. Oh, see, I'm trying to think how to... Freaking listen.
Hey, that's better than I thought it was going to be.
Me too, dude. Me too. I was like, hey, I could be Peter's brother. Holy shit. Where's Lois? I totally want to bang my sister-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that was even a little bit better. I totally want to bang my sister-in-law, Lois. I'm Peter Griffin's brother. Just frickin' listen. Okay, we've run over big time tonight. Everybody have a great night. That's Drew.
And that's Wade.
Cool. Later.
Later.
You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.